Всем привет, мы продолжаем проходить Starfield и поехали.
SSN correspondent Alaska on the ground in Aquila City has reported an increase in attacks by the Shogun. The notorious bandit gang reportedly faced a wild outside the city, and thus far is captured by the police.
Everyone fleeing Earth as quick as you can.
Well, thanks for choosing Chunks. Great. What can I get for you?
So you want to come here for a
Would it be too much to ask if we stopped by Laredo Firearms and took a look around?
I have artifacts that date all the way back to the time of... Very well. People are proud of their history here, so we get more visitors than I was expecting. So it gets pretty busy here, especially with school field trips. Aquila City was founded over 150 years ago by Solomon Coe, a scientist and explorer from Earth. Along with other settlers, Coe built the structures you see in the part of the city we call the core. Those proud buildings still stand today. The planet was dangerous, so they built a wall around their settlement. Eventually, they ran out of space and started building outside the wall. There were so many buildings that they had to build another, larger wall, forming a second outer ring around the growing city. Of course, the city didn't stop growing, and before long, the third wall, the outer wall you see today, was constructed. Today, Aquila City is the proud capital of the Freestar Collective, and the Council of Governors continues to meet here when they need to. Most people know Solomon Coe as the founder of Aquila City and the father of the Freestar Collective. He was an astrophysicist who lived on Earth in a place called Wyoming. Solomon was born around the time people first started living in space. Later in life, he designed starships, and when Earth was in peril, those ships helped to save humanity by taking them to new homes in the stars. The bravery and heroism it took to save humanity. Whew, goosebumps. During the Great Exodus, Solomon came to this world. He named our star Cheyenne, which was also a place on Earth, and gave Aquila its name too. He and some others built the settlement that would go on to become Aquila City, and his descendants still live here today. There are some things I would kill to have. I mean, wait, not literally. But I would pay a lot for. You see, the Coe family lost a treasure trove of old historic documents ages ago. And those documents would be priceless to have here. Well, all of them were owned by our city's founder, Solomon Coe. He's more than that, really. He's one of the greatest heroes of the settled systems. These documents would be, like I said, priceless to the museum and to our guests. Their absence pains me. Jacob Coe and I have talked at length, and his great-grandfather was a troubled man. He sold off various historic documents to cover debts. They could be anywhere. If you find any of that trove of documents, I will pay dearly for it. Thank you. Think of the future generations that could benefit from seeing such important history. That is not something I expected to hear today. I assume you're somehow associated with the United Colonies? I've received some odd messages of late. A tree is upset? You scientists are something else. Regardless, I can't just hand over museum property, and I must admit I'm not especially inclined to help the UC, or New Atlantis for that matter. Well, I'm afraid you've wasted your time because I'm not authorized, nor particularly inclined, to release any of our pieces. That includes 100-year-old tree branches. Sorry, but it's staying in storage. Welcome to the Coe Heritage Museum. If you ever want to learn more history, please visit. Everything you see here is a piece of a... I hear what you're saying, but I'm afraid it's out of the question. I guess I don't want to impede anything important. I can't believe I'm doing this. Please return it in one piece.
So, where to next?
We have liftoff. Looks peaceful from up here, doesn't it?
Have you paid a visit to Miss Castler in Aquila City? Yes, yes, of course. I'll see that it is returned to her in one piece. Well, perhaps minus a few shavings. Now, I just need a moment to analyze this and synthesize an audio response to our friend here. All right, so we'll feed in a sample. Now the program will incorporate the genetic and chemical makeup of the sample, extrapolating the size and structure of the original tree. This was put together rather hastily, so complete accuracy is impossible, but I'm hoping it's enough. And there it is. Our best hope for a positive solution to this mess. So, we now have a simulated response to our tree. All that's left is to play it. An excellent question. I have been wondering myself. I've been forced to listen to this SSNN kiosk chatter incessantly this entire time. I think it could be put to better use. We don't have time to go through the proper channels, but if you can find a terminal and get this uploaded into their system, it might do the trick. You're right. There's a chance that there could be some minor adverse side effects, but none would be life-threatening. We won't play the broadcast loud or long enough to cause any major or permanent damage to humans or other organic life. And aside from that, if we don't calm this tree down soon, well, I fear that the vibrations it's emitting will eventually reach such strength it could severely damage our internal organs. Then I fear all this hard work will be for naught. I would hate to see this tree come down, but we may be out of options. I have no doubt that you will.
Evening, ma'am. My mother wanted me to be a doctor. Doctor, huh? Mothers, am I right?
Were you seen?
It's not like we're doing it.
It's important that the people of the United Colonies...
I bet. Whoever came up with bad news travels fast wasn't taking interstellar distances into account.
I wish I lived on this space. So... They'll have our table ready soon.
Did we have to come early? You know they'll be late.
It's a matter.
We always wind up waiting.
Every time I've come here, there's a line.
Traffic is good.
We've done it! I'm already seeing reductions in the strength of the vibrations. The tree is calming down. I can hardly believe that worked. I don't know. We've been in uncharted territory this whole time. That doesn't stop now. With the immediate crisis hopefully over, I can slow down and review everything we've learned. And certainly, I'll be keeping a much closer eye on our friend going forward. And you have saved this tree and advanced our scientific knowledge of our environment. Noble work across the board. You have my gratitude and that of every citizen in New Atlantis, though they don't know it.
Another derelict vessel has been found. All hands aboard were dead, and the signs point to
Another day, another credit.
Been a long time since I've been to Mars. Sol system doesn't get a lot of traffic.
Ah, crime has slowed down since you started helping him. Yep. Something just came in. Scuffle over at the Dawn's Roost. Security on site handled it, but now one of them is saying the other guy stole his wedding ring. Problem is, he left without identifying the perp, so I need you to talk to Royce Elgin at the Dawn's Roost. See if you can fill in the gaps. Men like him aren't very generous with their time. They want you to solve a case without ever having to lift a finger themselves. Not that he'd be much of a witness, given that he was still half drunk when he got here, and somehow even more so when he left. Sorry, wrong word. Rich people don't get drunk, they get inebriated. Which is another way of saying highly unreliable. Good. Report back here when the matter's resolved. According to the patron, the ring is valuable, but if I had to guess, not for sentimental reasons. Normally, when someone loses a valuable keepsake, they're heartbroken. The way this guy was acting, it's almost as if he lost a wallet full of creds. It's a lot of work, as always. People like to say, New Atlantis is the safest city in the settled systems. How hard could your job be? Well, safety doesn't happen by accident. It takes a lot of work and a lot of people. A restaurant over in the residential district caters to a very fancy clientele. It's the kind of place where forks come in different sizes, depending on the food. See you later.
something to report?
Ever run into spaces?
You can't have those two date. It would never work.
There is simply no parallel to the food you will find here. One tip right away.
Almost pure vodka.
A most unfortunate incident, complicated by the fact that both parties were inebriated. While I wasn't privy to the entire argument, Hugo and Octavio have been dining here together for quite some time. So, it was surprising to see them at each other's throats. Oh, yes, quite often. They had a usual table over in the far corner, with all the traditional accoutrements. Music, candles, wine. You see where I'm going with this. But this time the two had barely sat down before the argument got heated. Thankfully, security stepped in before anyone got hurt. I wasn't witness to any theft, and both men were wearing rings, if I recall correctly. Well, the one who stayed with UC Security, Octavio, is a shorter man, handsome and refined. His favorite menu item is the Saint, I believe. The other, Hugo Fournier, is a tall, slender gentleman with a French accent. Excellent tipper, well-mannered, but a bit hot-tempered. I assume that would be the slender gentleman, Hugo Fournier. He was the one who excused himself after UC Security arrived. I believe he lives in Athena Tower, although he may be checking out soon. But I would start there. Enjoy the rest of your day.
So after an hour of whining, they're finally out here.
They're just sitting on the grass. They should be.
Howdy. Oh, I can't believe that Octavio. That liar, that manipulator, that... Thank you. He's a scoundrel and a fiend, and I was wrong to ever think otherwise. 5 years we were together, half a decade! And he threw it all away for that waiter! Not just dating, betrothed. And I have the engagement ring to prove it. He would say that, but as far as I'm concerned, it's my property. He gifted it to me when he proposed. It's not his to return. I don't care. I'm not giving it to you. I think my lawyer would disagree. Either way, if Octavio wants to take me to court, then so be it. I see. If this is official UC security business, I'd rather not be arrested. You're right. My stubbornness gets me in trouble far too often. True, I don't want to go to prison. I've heard stories and they rarely end well. Ugh. Fine! I may be extremely agitated, but I want no part of a UC prison. Here.
Trading to new highs on the surprising news of record.
So I've just been taking care of them for the time being.
How can I help you, Captain? Ah, perfect. Did you manage to get the ring back? Excellent. I'm sure the victim will be pleased to know their property has been returned. You acquitted yourself well again. I dare say you might have a knack for police work. Hardly surprising for a captain of the UC Vanguard, but still, impressive nonetheless. Here, take this. It's well deserved.
Private sector.
Just say it. No, I don't know.
Hey, what can I do for you? And here's our new captain. My crew can take a look at it. Looks to me like you're already in pretty good shape. Everything looks good here. I'll be at my booth if you need me.
Just give the word and we'll get underway.
Lifting off now. Apogee kick complete. Orbit steady. right on target. Landing site locked. Take us in.
Mining operations can make or break an entire company. Dig in the wrong place, and that's millions of credits down the drain. Oh, damn cold here. Going to need a hot cup of coffee after this. Let's do this. I'm going to end you! valuable?
This reminds me of a book I read as a child. It was about an expedition to the center of the Earth. One of my favorites. Set aside anything useful and just leave the rest.
that wish? My hand's not.
This is gonna end badly for you. Let's do this. Wrong day to piss me off! I'm going to end you!
The heck? There aren't anything enough for this. Oh!
We don't stock up on junk.
If you don't need any of this, I'll be happy to take it off your hands.